That is why they are so fervent. TV with your host, Jeff Charles.
Jeff Charles, contributor for LibertyNation.com.
Hello and welcome to Right On, where we tackle the issues of the day from the right perspective. A new year is upon us. Happy New Year, everybody. Coming with it is a new era of political shenanigans, and it's already off to a turbulent start. Is anybody surprised? Republicans are struggling to select a Speaker of the House, and the road isn't quite as clear as people thought for frontrunner Kevin McCarthy. So how is the base viewing this whole affair? I have with me a Liberty Nation's national columnist, Sarah Cowgill, to help us understand this a little bit better. Welcome to the program.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I've been wanting to talk to you about this.
Yeah. You know, I've had several conversations lately with the wrecking crew here in the middle of nowhere, and it doesn't look good for Republicans. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. So when it comes to people in Flyover County, what's the overall, let's talk about 2023. What's the overall feeling? Optimism, doom and gloom, or who gives a crap?
The only thing they're looking forward to is perhaps the Republicans taking on the Democrats in an investigative mode, like they've done, like the Democrats have done to the Republicans for so long. So I think they're looking forward to a little tit for tat. Other than that, they didn't get their way in the midterms. The middle of America, the silent majority, is starting to grumble again. They're starting to rumble and grumble, and it's getting louder and louder and louder. And if you recall, the last time they were all up in arms was 2016, and that's where Donald Trump came from. So, if they're thinking of ways to upset the apple cart, they have the power to do that for the Republican Party.
So it sounds like they might be ready for another wrecking ball, is kind of what I'm hearing.
They need a wrecking ball. They need a wrecking ball that is not Donald Trump. They need a wrecking ball that is Trump policy and Trump America first, but with a little more delicacy in delivering the news. People are kind of tired of oh my God, stop talking. So you get that, and his base loves him. I mean, there's no way that they will never not love Donald Trump. But on the other hand, they want somebody they can elect that's a lot like Trump, but that can get elected, and that's what everybody's thinking in the flyover states, at least.
That makes sense. They want the Trump, but with a little bit more finesse. But
exactly.
What are they thinking about this whole kerfuffle over the speaker position? It sounded like Kevin McCarthy had that on lock, and now not so much. And you wrote an article for LibertyNation.com where you suggest that at least some of these people are a little skeptical of House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
I had when I was doing the column, I had a heck of a time finding people that were going, "Oh, McCarthy's the guy. Let's put him in. Woohoo!" I couldn't find that. I scanned through all of my contacts. I scanned through all the social media, and I could not find a general commenter that thought it was a good idea. He's perceived as part of the elite, part of the problem, and that he's going to do nothing but try to build a bridge, and that's not what Republicans are looking for right now. Republicans are looking for a bit of shoving crow down the throats of Democrats, and that's not going to happen with Kevin McCarthy. That's the perception. I don't know what Kevin McCarthy's plans are, because he changes his mind a lot, and I just don't know. But I do know that he's not well favored in this part of the world. I mean, people are rooting for Jim Jordan like crazy. I was in my our little foxhole pub last night, and that was the major discussion. They had it on all the channels. Everybody was watching C-SPAN and trying to figure out what was going on next. And there was a lot of discussion. And the discussion is, why can't we just elect Jim Jordan? Why are we going back? Why are we going back? They don't want to turn back the clock. They want to just keep moving forward.
I hear you. Now, I want to run this by you because I literally just saw this before we got on. I wasn't going to ask you about it, but I just want to get your reaction to this and what you think Flyover County would think. Now, John Kasich posted a tweet saying, quote, "A block of House Republicans should get together with Democrats to pick a speaker to run a coalition government, which will moderate the House and marginalize the extremists." What do you think?
Hell no. And I only say that because there's no way that kind of that it won't work, not in this climate. And so then you've got people already going conspiracy theory and knowing that as soon as they, make a decision to go right or left, the right or left is going to be ticked off and say, yep, we knew this was all along. They need a solid leader in the majority here. And until they work out those deals or cut those deals, I think that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Sorry, John Kasich.
Yeah, I think
it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Now, one of the individuals that you spoke with or that you saw and that you noted in your article, he did a little play on something that Kevin McCarthy says, where he talked about how once they get into office, they're going to, take it to the left, do all these investigations. So he did a little flip on that and he rephrased it. And this person said, "The very first day, the first thing we're going to do is replace all of my bluster with capitulation to the left in order to preserve the status of establishment rhinos." So that was this guy speaking as Kevin McCarthy, doing a little bit of parody, which, I appreciate. So, and like you said, nobody's enthusiastic about him. I mean, even when I'm on Twitter, which I am all the time, even people who want him in that position just want him there to keep somebody worse from being there. It's not like they're enthusiastic. Yeah,
he's a placeholder. It's like he's a placeholder, and I loved that comment because everybody else loved that comment. It was on a Facebook feed and we all just laughed and laughed and laughed over that. It's like exactly right. As soon as all this, chest pounding and blah, 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 as soon as you're in that office, you're going to step back, your spine's going to disappear. You're going to become the amoeba man again. And then we're going to be in the same place. That's what Republicans think. I don't see our Congress moving forward whatsoever. It's like we're in this hamster on a wheel and, we just can't go anywhere, but we keep spinning it.
And I think that's the overall sentiment, especially when people are looking at the Republican Party. It lends credence to the theory that it's just a uniparty between Republicans and Democrats. Do you think that's kind of a sentiment that's shared by people in flyover country?
Yes. Yeah. They figure all of the old Democrats and the old Republicans that have been in there that like the way things used to run, where it's just wait your turn. That now they see there's fringes, and you got the progressive fringe on the left, and the I don't even know what you call the right on the crazy fringe on the right, but there's crazy fringes on both sides, and they see that as a big threat, but not as big a threat as going back to the way things used to be done with. People wait their turn. It's not your turn to run for president. It's going to be your turn. And it's not your turn to be speaker. It's going to be your turn. And nobody likes that. So, it's not Kevin McCarthy's turn to be speaker. Nobody hands you anything or should hand you anything. And right now, he can't get the votes. So I don't see this as anything more than just another, log in the jam in the river. It's just not going anywhere.
So last question. I mean, how do you think this whole thing is going to shake out? Because before it was seeming like McCarthy was it. Like he's going to be in that position. Yeah, there's a little bit of dissent, but there was almost a foregone conclusion, and now it's not. Like, do you think he's still going to get it, or do you think it's going to be somebody else, or is Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat, going to be the Speaker of the House?
That would be the biggest surprise of 2023, I think. Yeah. It'd be kind of funny if a couple of Democrats voted for Jim Jordan or something just to throw that gives them something to fight for. And they need that. They need a Trump-like person in the speaker role so they can just, go, well, they're doing this. He's Donald Trump Jr. That's what the Democrats need. And the Republicans need somebody that'll just stand up and get the job done. Maybe it's neither person we're even talking about, but they better figure it out pretty soon.
Yeah, they better. So next time we talk, maybe by the next time we talk on the show, they will have selected somebody. But some people are expressing some positivity because Congress can't really do anything unless there's a Speaker of the House, and now they're not doing anything.
They're just sitting there waiting. Everybody's like, oh, look at the time.
Yeah, maybe it's better. Maybe some people want them to take their time. But we'll be talking about more of these things later on. Thank you for joining the program.
I look forward to it, Jeff. It's always fun with you.
Thank you. And remember, the show is proudly sponsored by LibertyNation.com, where you can access podcasts, breaking news and analysis, and a range of biting and brilliant shows to whet your appetite for freedom and your fondness for the great American Constitution. Just go to LibertyNation.com on your browser or hit Rumble, YouTube, or check out our Liberty Nation News Roku channel. I'm Jeff Charles. Thank you for watching. This program is a production of LibertyNation.com, where truth is making a comeback.
Entertaining, informative, and just plain fun. Watch Liberty Nation's The Conservative 5. Produced by conservatives for conservatives. C5's The Left Free Zone. Hosted by Liberty Nation's Lisa K. Donner. Joined by a raucous, irreverent panel of authors. Deconstructing leftist narratives. Debating the hot topics. And remembering to laugh. Join the official conservative safe space.
You only did that to piss Jeff off.
Liberty Nation's The Conservative 5.
That is why they are so fervent. TV with your host, Jeff Charles.
Jeff Charles, contributor for LibertyNation.com.